So in today's video, we're going to discuss what credit score you need in order to purchase a home in 2024. We'll start off by discussing what the actual FICO range is. Then we'll discuss what credit score you'll need specifically for each loan product. And then last and certainly not least, hopefully, is some tips in order to help you get your credit score up to put you where you want to be. Now, FICO score ranges are going to go anywhere from 300 to 850. Now, most likely you're not going to qualify for a mortgage at 300. In fact, some of our loan products that we'll discuss today will go as low as 500, but they do have additional requirements. So why does a credit score even matter? Well, it's going to matter for two reasons. A, you're going to need to meet the minimum requirement in order to qualify for a home loan. And then B, depending on how good your score is, it can save you thousands of dollars. So today we're going to go over 5 different loan options as far as what the minimum score is. All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes. What credit score do you need in order to purchase a house in 2024? Well, if you're applying for an FHA loan or a USDA loan, you're going to need a minimum score of 580. Now for the FHA loan, they may allow you to go as low as 500, but you're gonna need to put 10% down. And the most enticing thing about an FHA loan is you usually only need 3.5% down. So 3.5% if you're 580 or above, or if you have a 500 to a 579, you can still qualify for that FHA loan, but you're gonna need to put 10% down. Now the USDA loan product, as long as the property's in an area that qualifies for USDA loans and you have a 580 or above, you can qualify for that loan product as well. Now, if you're an active duty service member, you're retired, or you're a surviving spouse, you can qualify for something that's known as a VA loan. Now, the VA loan does not set a specific minimum credit score. The individual lenders do. And on average, you're going to need a 620 or above in order to qualify for a VA loan. Now, the next option, and perhaps what everybody's thinking of when they're talking about a mortgage, is a conventional loan. And a conventional loan is going to require you to have a 620 or above in order to qualify for their loan products. Now, what happens if your loan amount is too high for a conventional loan? Well, then you're going to need something called a jumbo loan. And for a jumbo loan, you're typically going to need your credit score to be above 700. So a real quick recap before we move on to how to improve your credit score. For FHA and USDA, you're going to need 580 or above. Unless you have 10% down for FHA, then you can go as low as 500. Now, for conventional, you're going to want 620. VA, remember, there's no minimum. It's set by each individual lender. And then for those of you that need a jumbo loan, expect to need a 700 or above in order to qualify for a home loan. So let's say you get your credit score pulled and it's not really where you want it to be. What can you do in order to raise that score? So there's a few quick tips that we can go over in order to help you out, but we have completed a full video on this and we'll put the link in the description. So one of the best things that you can do to raise your score immediately is to pay down debt. Now, I know this sounds obvious, but if you're able to get some of your installment loans and credit cards below 35%, this will provide an instant boost to your score. Now, the second thing that you can do, and what everybody should do regardless of whether or not they're applying for a home loan, is check your credit report for inaccuracies. A lot of times you'll have some collections, late accounts, things like that are either not your account or they're being reported inaccurately. Now, if we have documentation to prove that it's not your account or that it's inaccurate and we can get it rescored, this will provide an instant boost to you prior to qualifying for a mortgage. And the last tip, and certainly not the least, is to pay your bills on time. As long as you continue to pay your bills on time, your credit score will continue to go up.